Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Fate's End, a homebrew Dungeons and Dragons game driven by Fate. I will be your tail weaver for the evening, as most Monday evenings. Let's get into our announcements. First off, I want to shout out Tabletop Audio, tabletopaudio.com for the ambiance that we use in our shows from time to time. We also want to shout out Nine Realms Gaming, our partner. They create top-notch gaming accessories from the finest woods this realm has to offer. You can visit ninerealmsgaming.com and use our exclusive partner code LIAR10 to get 10% off. We also want to shout out Sirenscape for the ambient sounds, music, and their online player that we use on stream. And we do use their sound sets from time to time as well.
Shout out to Flock Obama for all the subs and stuff.
Wow.
I'm missing because I'm reading things. Oh, thank you so much, Flock Obama. Thank you for all of the subs. We got a hype train going too. Good golly.
Mac gifted some subs too.
Oh,
Okay.
I see that now.
Mac,
Thank
you're
you,
the
Mac.
best, too.
Thank you, Mac. Thank you guys
you.
so much. And Brandon just cheering some bits. We got bits. We got chips. Wish I
I
had
think we have some
chips.
new people in the chat too.
We have some new peeps.
Yeah. Phoenix.
Phoenixy Waki?
Yeah.
Phoenixy
What's up?
Waki. Hello. Back. If you would like to follow us on social media, you can use Command Socials to follow Ink and Lyre on all our social channels, or you can follow the cast at FateCast, or using Command FateCast. We also have a Fate's End Twitter account that one of my cast members will put in the chat for me, where you can actually follow tweets from the characters of Fate's End. So that is a fun little account that you can follow as well. Other than that, I think that those are all of our announcements for the evening, unless I missed anything. Tonight, Esperise will be recapping the last episode. So with that being said, the time has come. Let's draw our cards for tonight's episode of Fate's End.
Ooh.
It would be reasonable. I mean, I would understand if you expected me to feel shame. For the first time in my life, I don't. Someone must do what must be done. But I am speaking in such dramatics, and my apologies. Allow me to explain. Last time, on Fate's End, Lotham granted his assistance, teleporting us to Saltstone. There, our dear Finlay was greeted as Lord of the Keep, which was very sweet. The staff there showed us to our rooms, most of us. Samson transformed into a bird near immediately, which he has been doing a lot recently. I believe he might be having some kind of nervous breakdown. And Akron decided to sleep outside. I believe Luden said something about wanting to sleep in a dungeon or at a fletching workshop or something. I don't know. Finlay and I are sharing the room that used to belong to Ravenir Thorn.
You are brought into Finlay and Esperise. You are brought into a room. It's actually a tower. It's a 4-story tower. Although the first floor is locked. The very first floor that leads down into what looks like to be a basement is locked. You can't access that part. The second floor, you see very beautiful shade lounge. The first floor you see very beautiful shade lounge, and like bookshelves. The second floor that you're on, you see a bed, another set of bookshelves. If you go to the 4th floor, there's another set of bookshelves completely surrounding the entire tower wall. And in the center, there is this very bright, glowing light surrounded by glass. And it's a lighthouse. It actually is turning, and because Saltstone is on the corner of its own private harbor. So, like, it's actually functioning as a lighthouse. And you see the light just kind of casting this beautiful, like, beam, god ray of light as it swirls around the top of the tower.
Before we settled in, Finlay remembered to contact those that we needed to contact. First, he sent word to Cassius, reminding him and Zemlin to please join us here in Saltstone, and also to bring along the pets. Then he contacted Cyprian. Zemlin is many things, and one of those is punctual. She and Cassius arrived very soon afterwards, bringing the whole bestiary with them.
You see Cassius, and kind of trudging behind him looking very grumpy and very irritable, with his cheeks just waddling from side to side as Snonk. And he's just looking at he's not even looking up, he's just looking at the ground. Very, with his brow furrowed very angrily as he trudges through. The servants just kind of look over at Cassius. They're like,
the stables are out to the side.
and Cassius just kind of looks at them, and he says,
My apologies. I believe Lord Thorn would prefer his beloved pet to come inside.
and the servants just kind of look at one another, and then they look back at Cassius, and they're like,
Well, we will ask Lord Thorn if that is what that he would like.
The keep is, I think, still adjusting to their new lord, which is understandable. Finlay is not the kind of person that anyone anticipates. The kitchen will have to adjust to his vegetarianism, and the steward, Grun, will have to adjust to the presence of the entire party. Apparently they have made a bad impression upon him in the past. We had a conversation with the steward over dinner.
Hello?
How are you?
Adequate?
Hey, it could be worse, I guess.
Not sure.
Ludin looks to Esperise for help, like, like he's done everything that he needed to do to, like, try and start a conversation cordially.
The full extent of Ludin's prowess.
Samson stayed up late. He's been doing that too. I believe he may have seen something.
you're in the study then? So you're in the study, and you're just kind of like paging through the books, and you hear like a scratching sound to the bookcases behind you.
I look at the bookcases.
You turn around, and you look down the aisle, and you just see this filigree fox creature made out of metal with glowing purple eyes, and it's just sitting there, and it tilts its head and it looks at you.
Finlay mentioned something similar to me in the morning, but it was very early in the morning when we woke, and I assumed that this was some kind of dream that he was still waking up from. I woken Finlay up at dawn, actually, to make a call. But first I wanted to, at least I think it was important to, I don't know how to say it. I want Finlay to know me exactly as I am, and I want him to love me anyway. And then he came. Finlay speaks to a god who speaks back.
You've been here many times, and you do see Levi. He doesn't say anything. He's leaning against a tree, of course. His signature pose.
And oh my god.
His eyes dart from you to Esperise, and you slowly watch the bottom corners of his lips pull into a smile. And he just sits. He sits there crossing his arms, and he looks at you, Esperise.
The last time we met, there were certain circumstances that I continue to be curious about. And there are certain circumstances we find ourselves in now that I am open to your guidance on.
He tilts his head to the side.
My guidance.
He kind of like pushes off the tree and takes a step forward.
Do you trust me, Esperise? You've come all this way. Made the first step to reach out to me, but do you trust me? Do you have faith in me? Faith in yourself?
I understand what you have chosen to do, and I think it is the most effective path you could have taken. I understand that you need to do what must be done, and there are things that I must do.
It's a good answer. But you've avoided the question. Do you trust me?
I'm gonna look at Finlay.
Finn will give her like a subtle, his hand gives her hand like a subtle squeeze.
As you take his hand, he attempts to twirl you around as if you're dancing. And as he does, the leaves begin to swirl around you, and a robed gown begins to form, green moss oak leaves at the bodice cut to your shoulders, with long sleeves close to the skin down to your wrist, sheer dark green skirt over opaque green leggings down to your ankles for ease and movability, carrying that same layered maple leaf swirling all the way down.
I never know what to say with gifts, but I know what I must do. And I know that I must keep this particular gift private. It was still dawn. We went back to sleep. Finlay is short. I mean, not to be unkind. He's smaller than me by about 5 inches. But I like to be the little spoon anyway. Luden came to me later in the morning.
If no one else is around, it's like, hey,
What's up?
I don't know if, like, you're probably free in the next couple of days. I'm gonna take a trip home, and I was wondering if you would want to come. I can invite Avriel as well. Akron's already going. But yeah, you show me your home, I can show you mine, and then he'll pull out the little rock that he has, and he'll pull out a little piece of paper, the paper that he was like writing on. He's like, so you're Rimblaze guy, he helps with, passing the dead, and my mom never got a funeral. So I was wondering if you could help me, write something on the stone, and then we could give her one. I've never really been to one, so I was wondering if you could.
I am going to go, if he wants me to. I love him, and what I have done, it does not change that, but first I may choose to speak with him. I have not decided yet. Everyone else was finding their place in the keep. Samson, as I have said, has been odder than ever. He's been training with swords with Luden and being really staggeringly rude to our new companion.
I want to check on you. I know that this, will this be your first is this your first coup? Or is this your first war of sorts? Or is this,
Is this my first war? Yeah, wars don't, I tend not to, try not to participate in wars. It's not my first time in combat, though. It's not my first conflict.
So you're not a fighter? Or, what's the deal?
I am he'll kind of look at his hands, say, I am a protector. If it comes down to fighting, then, so be it.
Are you good at fighting?
He'll look around. Do you want to find out?
You know what? Absolutely I do.
I believe Prearia spoke to Luden as well. I don't know the details of this, but they both came out happy, I think.
Knights or something, maybe?
He'll take out his sword, his short sword real quick, and he'll hand it to her. I'd be honored. He'll put down, on the knee, and if she doesn't know what to do, he'll just be like...
Oh, okay. I, Prearia, queen to be of the Gloaming Court, appoints you, Luden, as a knight.
And Ludin goes
Did you
like,
like
I think
touch it
that's
too? I think that's. Do I have to say more things?
I think it was perfect, and he'll take the sword. He's like, I accept. Thank you so much.
I have this a great love, I suppose, for the people I travel with, the nameless ones. I love that. I don't know if it is Fey or mortal, or maybe it is both. Samson says things sometimes that make me wonder if he can love at all, but Avriel is practically overflowing with this stuff for me and for Akron. And Ludin loves so deeply, so fundamentally, and with such righteous anger, and Finlay with such joy. And Prearia has this sort of love that is the only kind I understand. I will help her find her family and keep them and keep her safe. And then I will make sure that she can make whatever choices must be made. Everything I do now, I do out of love. I don't expect any of them to understand. And they don't have to. All I can do is what must be done.
Hi,
Chris.
Hi, Chris. Wait,
Hi,
we didn't-
Chris.
Hold on. Wait, one,
Messed it up
two.
so-
Wait, hold on. 1,
What?
2, 3.
Hi,
Hello,
Chris.
We didn't decide if it was high or low, but I think that went really well.
Flock Obama, you're my general forever, bro.
Seriously,
Keep it coming,
yes. Thank you so much, Flock Obama, for all the gifted subs. Everyone put some hearts and some huzzah mugs in chat, please, for that. That is so awesome, and we do appreciate the love that we are feeling. So I'm excited about tonight's episode. Let's get back into it. My players look panicked. All right. So we jump back in as Samson has just finished talking to Finlay and got Finn to sign his book. And he just kind of storms out, and they have that very sweet little "I love you, but love you too, asshole," and he just kind of storms out.
Yes, I do that, and then I'm gonna go find Prearia, wherever she may be at this time. It is now, I don't know, sometime in the day. I don't know. Where is Prearia at any point at any given time?
At any given time.
Hmm.
Well, assuming it's been long enough that she's finished hand-to-hand training with Ludin, she will be in the library.
In the library. So
Yes.
I leave Finlay reading a book, and I go to the other book room where I can find Prearia, and I walk in the door and I say, "Hello, are you busy?"
Oh, hello. No, just catching up on some things.
How's it going?
What's all right. Just a lot to get ready for.
I know.
What have you been up to?
Just preparing stuff. Samira gave me this book that keeps people from dying if you write your name in it. And so I already got Finn's, and I already got Akron's. And once you write your name down too, I might allude into the list later. So I wanted to hand this to you. And then I'll turn over the book, and on the back of the page, on the back page of it, you can see there's a very magical piece of this journal where Samson's been keeping all the various pieces. You've probably rifled through this a few times on your own, trying to look through all of Samson's plans. So you've seen the journal before, and he's shown it to you. But This is the back page where you can sign it. He offers it to you.
Well, that sounds useful.
It is.
Do you have a pen?
Yeah. Hand her a pen.
Or
How's
a
the-
feather? I don't know what time we are in. What is the writing utensil? That makes
I don't
sense.
know. This is my pilot G2. So if that works for you.
Nice, the ink flow is very smooth. Not
Mhm.
sponsored.
Not sponsored. It should be though. Honestly. Anyway,
The best pen in all of Lacambria.
how's the eye? How's it feeling?
Does it still feel weird? How long?
As you're, this is a great opportunity. As you're standing there, Briaria, and you're talking, as you're just kind of casually talking with Samson. Samson, you watch as her eye just like looks completely to the right, and then up, and she just continues to talk to you, and then like looks
I don't
down,
like that at
and
all.
then looks at you and focuses on you. And like her pupil on the left is focused on you, but like you watch as the other one dilates and then focuses on you in a completely separate manner.
I try to act like I'm not looking at it. It's unsettling. I try to pretend like I don't see it.
It's fine, I suppose. I don't feel anything out of the ordinary.
Maybe I can see. It doesn't look bad either. You could get a patch though. I don't know if you thought about that. Kind of like keep everybody from looking at it, and maybe keeping it from looking out at everything else that you see. So I don't know if that's an option or not.
Right, I thought this would be enough until I could find a more permanent solution.
Permanent solution.
Well, something a little more, solid. I don't know. An eye patch sounds good. Sorry, I've been reading a lot of new words.
I think, I was a little worried about you when you went in there with Ludin. Wasn't sure what you were gonna do. I thought you were gonna let him take it. What happened?
I don't know. He was just so fine with it. Didn't feel right. Suddenly it was like looking at maybe one of my little brothers. I had one that was kind of like him, Iluan. He was always getting into things, but he was never scared about it.
I don't know if Ludin. That's the thing about kids, right? They don't know how dangerous things are, so they're not scared of anything. So I don't think Ludin knows what it means to lose an eye,
Well, I didn't either. Still really don't.
Yeah.
That
We're gonna have to figure out how to make her our friend now. I feel like you've given me a very difficult job because I don't know her very well, and she's very powerful. So
yes, you seemed quite wary of her.
Well, that's because she's scary. She's scary and she's dangerous, Prey.
I don't know. She seemed like a cornered animal.
That she might be. She might be.
She could be dangerous, but she could just need help.
Did Prey sign my book?
Yes.
I take the book back and I put it in my bag and I prepare for a later date. And you know what, might be very true. Sometimes, I don't know. I guess I hope you're right.
That makes two of us.
But if you're not, it would have been nicer if it had Ludin's eye. You know, I'm just saying. You know, it doesn't. You don't have to take my advice, but you know, I'm just gonna. And like, he's gonna like back out of the room while like making excuses. Like, you know, you don't have to listen to me or anything. Then I just leave.
She's just shaking her head.
All right. Is there anything else anyone would like to do for this evening end?
I don't know if it would be this evening, but sometime in the next day or two before Ludin starts leading his expedition out to commit arson to his childhood home for funereal purposes. Is there a time of day? Probably. She wakes up very early. Ludin also works up very early. Before he heads out, probably the following morning, if that's okay, Lauren. Just kind of shows up at the edge of his training grounds when he's heading out there. Ludin, good morning.
You're up early. What's up? And he's still walking. Are you coming to train with us? And he's gonna keep on.
No, I mean I have this sling, but it's not something I use very often. I was hoping.
Come on, you could do it though. Come on.
Yes, maybe in a moment. I need to speak.
And he'll slow down and what?
It's a private conversation. Is this a good place to speak?
Yeah. Sure. What's up?
When we very first met, I told you that if you ever asked me a question, that I would not lie to you. And I haven't. Outside of, yes, this tastes very good, and yes, I'm fine, but not anything important. I have never lied to you. But I believe that there is something that you should know so that you can decide whether or not you want me to be there for your mother's funeral. Do you want to sit down? Or this is a fine place to have this conversation?
I'm good.
Okay. Asprey's straight up kind of looks at her hand for a second and then puts it back down into her robes as though she's checking to see something she has written down. She is prepared for this conversation. So, everything that I do now, I do for my family. My family are mainly mortal, mainly on this plane. And when I was serving Remblace for so many years, it was comforting in a way to speak to a god who would not respond. But when you come to the moment when the god is able to take action, and he will not, you will do what you have to do to make sure that your family survives. There is one figure that I know who knows more and who is willing to speak to me and willing to provide direction on what must be done to prevent the rising of the Seven. In the evening when we met in the hallway at my father's house, I was going to speak to Finalai to ask if I could speak to Livy. I have spoken to Livy. Can I get a read on Luden in this moment? Before she moves on, she's going to take a second just of, how is this landing so far?
He's looking straight ahead, just at you as you keep talking.
I love you, and what I have done is because I love you. But I know it will not feel this way. And I completely understand if you are angry with me and you do not want me around. But if someone will make sure that my father's house remains standing, and that your brother and your lineage that I've sworn to you I will protect as a land to live on, I have done what I believe I must do. And I wanted you to know.
You spoke to Libby.
Yes.
Okay. So it's not that big of a deal, Esprit. You just spoke to him, right? I guess.
When we spoke, I asked him to. He saw fit something in me. I will be following his guidance when we return from the Feywild.
Luden will just sheath all of his stuff and he'll take a couple of steps and he'll actually go sit down, if not sit down right there. He'll look at Esprit and it won't be anger, it'll be like just confusion and are you happy?
What?
Are you happy?
I don't know what that has to do with anything. I am more powerful than I once was.
And this is what you wanted to do, right?
Yes.
Okay. So, in the interest of being honest, because you were so honest with me, it's kind of hard for me to be angry, right? Considering I've been telling you this whole time to do what you want to do. But you're really good. I feel like everybody's really good at being sympathetic, right? To my situation with Libby. When you told me about your mother and the things that the Fae did to her, I was ready to kill anyone you needed me to. I was ready to fight or do whatever. If I had to never speak to another Fae again, save the people that are in our party, I was ready to do that. Well, sympathy can only go so far. So I was willing to do that because I know what it's like to lose a mother, especially to some wacky circumstances, right? And I told you the day later that I don't I don't blame Finn for being brainwashed by Livy. Esperise, this is something that you wanted to do. It's a little different.
I know.
Yeah. So let's move past sympathy for a second and think of empathy, right? How would you feel if the person that killed your mother somehow had a hold on the important people in your life? And not only just had a hold, but one of them decided to go follow him. What would you do?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I would be angry. It would be understandable to be angry.
Anger doesn't really even begin to... Esperise, I love you, and I'm always going to do that, and that's not going to change because of some decision that you make. But it's a little bit more than anger, because it feels like you betrayed me. And I can't be angry at you because I told you to do what you want to do, and this is what you want to do. That's what you want to do, right? So, yeah. I have a question, though.
Anything.
So when Finn came out and told everyone about what Levi did, I asked him a simple question. If Levi asked Finn to kill any one of us, would he do it? Finn didn't say no. Now, Levi is some chaotic pest. He's willing to do anything as long as it helps in the long run, right? It's a utilitarian point of view.
Yes.
So the moment that Levi asked Finn to, I don't know, kill someone, I think that he would probably do it. And Levi doesn't like to get his hands dirty, because if he did, I probably wouldn't have to be here right now. Prey wouldn't have been losing her family as well. Uramir probably wouldn't have lost his mother, and soon lose his father, and have to take over one of these stupid 7. So when Levi asks you to do something like that, are you willing to say no?
Esperise is going to take a second because she's thinking of a lot of possibilities of things that could happen at this moment. I can and I will say no to Levi. He knows why I am doing what I am doing.
I'd like to insight check Esperise.
All right. Should I roll something, Lauren? Or
I'm just gonna say it's a nat 20 because my ring's gonna
okay.
A little light.
I'm gonna say with a nat 20, you remember when you broke your word to a greater power that you had made a deal with, and that power left you.
Mm-hmm.
So you can see that Esperise is nervous, saying that she will disobey a higher power that is helping her out right now.
Mm-hmm.
But she is telling you the truth. She will not hurt any of you.
Well, thanks for telling me. I don't think you need to be there with us.
That's why I wanted to tell you before.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
What did you expect our relationship to be after this conversation, I suppose?
I didn't, to be completely honest with you, I didn't want to have this conversation at all, but I didn't want to lie to you.
Yeah. Okay. I think I'm gonna go, okay?
Yeah.
Luden's gonna get up and just turn his back and go hit something.
All right. Everyone exhale.
This sucks so bad.
So, a day or so passes before Luden carries on with his party down to his old homestead.
It's probably just gonna be Akron now, considering
Is it just gonna be you and Akron?
it's just gonna be me and Akron. I was gonna have 4
time.
people, but there's
Human time.
no need to have anyone else on the adventure with.
You're not gonna invite Praeria?
There's no need to have anyone else.
As Breeze, I'm guessing like the day that Luden leaves, you'll probably be up on the 3rd floor, kind of up in that beautiful kind of roof garden, just kind of like looking out, and you can kind of.
At some point, she's gonna spend like a full day and a half sitting in a full bathtub, as though she was back at her temple back home, and then maybe she'll go to the garden at some point. She's not having a good time, but she'll wander out there eventually. Yeah.
So you're kind of up there on the roof, just kind of watching as Luden and Akron, you can kind of see them walking down the path, beginning their way on their journey to Luden's old homestead. And as you're sitting there, you're just kind of sitting on this really cold stone bench, and you're just watching the fish, your eyes darting from the koi fish pond up to the road, then back down to the koi fish pond. And at this point, Avriel just kind of takes his seat next to you. He doesn't say anything at first.
Hello.
No, we haven't had much time to talk.
Yes, sorry.
I get the feeling you have a lot on your mind. You don't have to tell me, of course, but I get the feeling.
And he kind of just trails off and brushes his hair from his face as he kind of speaks.
That would be accurate, I suppose. It's been a very busy couple of days. I hope you have been enjoying the keep, the lovely location.
He just kind of watches you, and he doesn't like he studies your face, and he says,
Essie, are you nervous about going to the Feywild? About seeing him?
I don't know. I don't,
Is that a lie?
Yes. I think
I know it's
not
a
so
lie.
much nervous as in like, oh, I don't know what I'll do when I meet him. She thinks she knows what it'll be like, and she's very scared of it. I think just
Roll a deception check then for me.
okay. I'm very deceptive, but also it's probably with disadvantage because straight up at this moment, she is seconds away from bursting into tears on top of that roof right now. I rolled twice. Which one was it? So it was either was a nat 20 for a 29, or it was a 12.
He shakes his head. His eyes kind of laughing in the corner of his mouth, kind of pulls into a small, kind of knowing smile. And his eyes are sad when he looks back up at you, though.
You still do it? You used to do it all the time when you were nervous or afraid of disappointing.
And he kind of just touches the small corner of your cheek.
There's a small muscle that twitches right here when you smile, and you still do it. Although back then you could barely walk and you would cry afterwards.
He kind of looks at you solemnly.
But I always made sure you didn't cry for very long.
Avriel, do you love me?
Of course I do. You're probably the only Fae that I
What does it feel like?
Kind of furrows his brow, confused.
As a Fae, does it feel different too?
I don't imagine so. I feel just as you feel, Whispers.
And she'll look at him and his long Fae ears and his ability to be totally separate from the world and say, yes, I suppose you do.
You suppose I do. I do. Right, I'm not quite what our father expected, or wishing to live up to those expectations.
How do you mean?
I'm here. I was banished. Never really liked him. He's a bit of an asshole.
Yeah.
And I do worry about you meeting him at some point. He was never a kind man. I hated him for that. Not just that he wasn't kind, but when you were so little, you couldn't even walk, and the things that he'd say to you, the looks that he'd give you.
Yeah.
Drove me crazy.
I'm sorry. I don't.
Why are you so, you shouldn't be. He kind of like nudges you, and he's like, what are you sorry for? Don't apologize. Take it back. And he like pretends to like wrap something up and like hand it over to you. Like it's some sort of pretend, like he's making you physically take back what you just said.
Take it back.
I'll like hold my hands over his as I'm taking it. The thing is, I'm really nothing at all like her. And I think I might be altogether too much like him. Thank you, though. I take it back.
You're nothing like him.
Thank you. Let's go on a walk, I think. Let's I know we're in the garden. I need more air coming faster or something.
He just kind of like nods.
Of course, Ceci.
And he'll stand up and he'll just kind of hold out his arm for you.
I'll take his arm and I will go with him.
And you will leave. Shifting over to Luden. Luden and Akron. You begin making your way out of Saltstone towards your old homestead.
The journey is long not because it takes a few days to arrive at your location. It is long because each step pushes against you, and you have to make a constant effort to keep moving forward. Like trudging through muck and mire, yet you push onward. Small talk and conversations between you and Akron as you kind of travel along, knowing each step brings you closer to your old home. Is there anything that you and Akron say to one another before you arrive?
Most of this, I don't think Ludin would start. He's a man on a mission. So his eyes are definitely forward most of the time. He knows the woods at the very least. And he probably also talked to his horse real quick, like beforehand, and straight up just said, "We're gonna ride hard. We're gonna ride fast. Stop when you need to stop. But I'm not taking it easy on you." And then he would have dropped the spell. No chance for response, but yeah, that's so. If anything Akron wants to talk about, go for it.
Yeah, he'll definitely notice Ludin's sour mood, and so ever the optimist and the empathetic soul that he is, he will he'll move his horse over, walk over next to Ludin's horse, and he'll say, "So what's on your mind? You look deep in thought."
And the fog will leave Ludin's eyes. He'll just look over and be like, quite a bit, Akron. Got to do this. Yeah, sure. I don't know where to start. We.
The beginning's usually a good spot.
Okay. Look, I came to this party. Look, I left. So where we're going was my home, right?
Yeah.
But it wasn't really my home. A whole lot of God BS, and it I feel like I woke up like 6 months ago for the first time. Maybe 6, 7 months. I don't know. Time is so weird. When I met these people, is the first time that I saw something, right? And it doesn't feel good waking up.
It doesn't feel good to wake up?
No. Okay, how old are you, Akron?
He shrugs. 80-something, maybe?
Yeah, I don't think you've woken up yet.
Well, from what you're telling me, it doesn't sound like waking up is a very pleasant experience.
For me, no. But I'd much rather be awake,
Why? If it's causing you so much pain.
Because being awake lets you be free.
You said I'm not awake, but I feel pretty free.
You're ignorant. Look, you're 86. I've probably lived more life than you have.
I doubt that.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Over in your tree grove, where you spent your entire life.
I've come and gone. I've had plenty of adventures.
Adventures.
Yeah.
Interesting. So I'm sure you've lost friends, right? And they've died. Right? Or
A few.
really?
I mean, well, Faye typically.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not living, Akron. That's not real. That's some fantasy over the freaking Feywild.
Well, the Feywilds are real. I'm real. Esperis and Samson are real. Your queen is real.
Yeah, that's fair. Except we're all over here in the real world,
Mm-hmm.
and
You mean the material plane?
the real world, yes. The Feywilds. I don't think you can live really or be awake if you can live forever. Doesn't make sense, you know? What's the point of any time that you spend? It means nothing.
I think it can still mean something.
Well, we can agree to disagree there. But at the end of the day, you're human. You do know that.
When you say that, his eyes kind of shift downward, and then his body language kind of changes. He says, I forget sometimes.
Yeah.
He says, sometimes I don't feel human. Like, they seem so foreign to me, you know? Their customs, their clothes. Like, he'll look at you and say, what are the point of shoes? Why do you wear them? I don't know.
Because our feet can hurt, Akron.
Well, yeah, but that's the thing. Mine don't.
Yeah, that's not you. That's your armor. That's not you, Akron. You are not a Fae.
No. I know that, but I know I'm not a Fae, but like I said, I don't always feel human either. Like, everything I know about being human, or most of it, is secondhand knowledge. Like, I know that you spend so much of your lives trying to extend it, trying to build something or do something that will outlast you. And
Yeah.
I think that's awesome. But it's something. Death is so close to you, us. Time
Means something to us.
It isn't a luxury. It's a resource. And that's something that Fae don't understand.
Yeah. That's what makes us different. It's what makes us human.
Well, yeah, but for me, time's kind of a luxury.
Akron, I hate to tell you this. You're still probably gonna die.
Well, yeah, eventually, but
Okay, what if you stop thinking of time as a luxury? Start thinking of it as the necessity that it is. And think about the real good you can do now for the people that are not going to be alive in 150 years.
I mean, I do
200.
good things, I think. We stopped the arborist. That was good, right? I
Yeah.
don't think things become less good just because semi-immortal creatures are the ones doing them.
I think you're thinking too small. Look, I want to do big things, bigger things, than just killing some monster. I want to do bigger things than just killing some seven. I want to fix the problem
The problem being
Gods. That's what I want to do. It's a big problem. It sucks. Yeah, I don't know. They might be up
don't
there.
they kind of control the natural order of things?
Yeah, and they probably shouldn't. Because it's not natural to do what they do. And if it is, the world's not worth saving.
The real world.
Exactly. Okay, Akron.
That's a strange philosophy coming from a human.
Yeah. I want you to think about some things.
Mm-hmm.
In the Fae, Wild, or wherever, the gods don't have as much power, right? So I'm told.
Yeah.
Here, all they do is meddle. It's annoying, to say the least. But that would be fine if it was just annoying. But the things they do in the name of everyone else, they create problems and expect us to fix them, right? And those problems affect all of us. The 7 came from a god. So my mom had to die to fix a god's problem. One of my best friends is now in a tower getting his life force drained out of him because he took on a 7 to save the world because of a god.
Sounds like an awesome guy.
I love him with my whole heart. At the end of the day, the gods, they seem to do more harm than they do good. And at the end of the day, you're a human. This is just as much your world as it is mine.
Well, if the gods are so bad, then why aren't there more people trying to get rid of them?
I'm sure there's plenty of people that think just like me.
Yeah.
And I'll find them. It won't be too difficult, I don't think. But yeah. There's also the fact that they try and keep everything so quiet. Instead of, mobilizing all of the people that worship them, they chose 6 or 7 people, maybe 8 or 9, to know all the secrets and put all of the pressure on them to save the world. So.
You sure your gods aren't just Fae in disguise?
No idea. Something to
I'm sorry
think
that
about.
they've hurt you so much. And you I'm still not quite sure why you choose to carry it all with you. But
Would you be willing to lose the people that you've lost in your memories too? Even if you were the last one to remember them?
I mean, if it hurts.
Pain is a part of life, Aaron. It just is.
It's a crappy part. You try to avoid it if you can. But you seem to revel in it.
Would you be okay if someone forgot you? If the only person that still remembered that you were alive forgot you? Do you think that your parents just forgot you when you went to the Feywild? I'm sure they probably cried all night looking for their baby boy. I mean, I believe that just because somebody dies doesn't mean that they should just become foreign to you. how do you respect somebody else's memory? How do you have true respect for somebody if the moment they die, you just abandon them? Pain's a part of life, and it hurts. But I'm willing to go through a little pain to show the respect and honor that people deserve.
Okay.
So, you continue down this road, having this conversation with Akron between you, and when it finishes, there's this silence, and you just kind of continue on in silence without looking at one another for a while, contemplating everything that has been said. And then you finally open to that familiar clearing. And the grass is overgrown, of course, and makes it harder to move through it, but you see it. The familiar windmill, the cloth of the blades torn and blowing lazily in the breeze. Next to the windmill, another familiar building, small, with a hay-thatched roof. No smoke rises from the chimney this time, and the door bangs, bangs, and creaks as the wind calls out, a reminder that this place is abandoned. And you see that small flower pot on the windowsill, but the plant is long dried and withered. And you do see some grass on the right side of the building that's not as long as the other grass. Where you supposedly buried Logan, sorry.
Lovely place.
Ludin will dismount off his horse at the top of the clearing. And at this point, it's probably been 3 days, so he'll cast his speak with animals again. I'll be like, feel free to roam. We'll be going back the next day or so. And he'll start walking towards his house and be like, come on, Akron. Let me show you what a human house looks like.
Akron will hop off his horse and I guess it'll kind of like break apart into like different leaves and branches and twigs and stuff and fall down into the earth. And he'll just trot along behind you.
Where are you going first, Luton? Are you going in the house, in the windmill? Are you going over to the side of the house where you supposedly buried Logan?
Luda's probably gonna go in the house first.
Okay.
He's definitely looking for that chair to see if, like, I assume like his memory's still a little fuzzy-wuzzy on what actually is real versus like what other stuff happened.
You walk into the home, and it is cold and empty. Dirt and leaves kind of litter the floor, and the fireplace is blackened and lifeless. A layer of dust blanketing the worn mantle. Most of the furniture is broken. The downstairs bed that your parents slept in is sunken to the floor and begun to rot away. And you didn't own much, so it doesn't surprise you that you see most everything is just as you left it. On the mantle, you see one of your father's wood carvings. Your mother burned most of them in her grief when he left, but she kept one. Just one. And you look down at it, peppered in dust and small black specks from the humidity of the past seasons, and it's your family. Your real family. Your mother, your father, your brother Lucidius, and you. Your mother is holding you in her arms, a bundle. Your brother on your father's shoulders, and your mother and father embracing one another. A family. Together.
Just take that and put it right inside of the bag of holding. And
Take it, put it in.
yeah.
You continue looking around on this first floor, and your eye catches the chair next to the window where the flower pot sits, and the chair is empty.
He'll go upstairs and look in his old room.
You go upstairs and you find your old beds of your brothers and yourselves. And the drawers are kind of busted and hanging open, and you do kind of look down and you see next to one of the beds this kind of shabby looking bow when you attempted to build your very first bow. And it's just an old, twig, like essentially like a twig branch. And you see like this kind of, like the twine has worn away, is long snapped from long ago. But you can see where it's split on the top and the bottom. But this is the very first bow that you ever made. It is just kind of like haphazardly laying between the bed and this dresser that's kind of hanging open.
He'll pick it up and toss it over to Akron. He'll be like, maybe you get to use one of these one day. And
Why?
I'll teach you how to build one. And he'll go back downstairs. He knows his family didn't have much, so he'll just specifically look for anything that might have been his mom's.
The flower pot is definitely something that was hers. She actually painted it. You rummage through the drawers, like in their room, and like most of the clothing is just kind of like rotted away.
Mm-hmm.
The only thing she really treasured, the last thing that she really had, was that statue that your father made. Outside of that flower pot was something that she treasured very much so. I mean, it's small. It's one of those small,
Mm-hmm.
Is there anything in the flower pot?
just dirt and a dead plant.
Seeing this flower pot and this dead plant, Akron will just nonchalantly cast plant growth, and
Okay.
completely unaware of the significance to Luden or anything like that. He just sees a plant and he's like, "Ooh, I can make that pretty," and so he'll cast plant growth and let the flower bloom, whatever it may be.
You run your fingers down the side of the pot, just kind of looking in it, and you kind of like graze just ever so slightly the topsoil. And as you do, like it kind of fills with this magical liquid water. It's not water, but it looks like more than just water. Very effervescent. And it sinks into the soil, and Luden, you watch as his hands work around the sides, and the plant begins to spring back to life, and the stalk begins to move back up, and this beautiful orchid of just this vivid white and fuchsia forms before your eyes.
Oh, whoa.
Akron was
Wow.
trying to look at you, just pleased with himself, just pleased as much like.
I haven't seen one of these in a long time. Thank you, Akron.
As you're standing, go ahead.
No, you're good. You're good.
As you're standing there, you hear an abrupt shift and a growl coming from the cracked open pantry. And it's dark, but you hear this very low, throaty animal growl coming from within.
Cast Goodberry. Be like, I guess somebody else has made my home theirs. Don't want to kill anybody inside, right? And
I'm
he'll
gonna cast Calm Emotions.
You have to be able to see it, whatever it is. Imagine you have to see it.
Maybe. I've never cast this before.
Does it work on animals as well?
Yes.
Oh no, it says humanoid. Okay.
Wait, does it? I was really
I
confident.
tried to get around.
I
don't
think
have
animal. I think there's an animal friendship. Like
there is, yeah. I don't
there's
have that one.
that's
So
a separate
I tried to
spell.
do
That's what
like
I
a poor
figured.
man's animal handling check there.
And we were talking about rules before the show, and you said whatever feels right. So this is great.
It's okay,
uh,
just feed it berries. That's a calm emotion.
Yeah, I was about to say
Yeah,
it's cool.
feed him berries. That's a good one.
Yeah.
do you open the door to the pantry?
I'm gonna take that little bit of twine that's on my old bow. I'm gonna put a couple of berries like on the counter, tie the twine around like the cabinet portion that would open it. And I'm gonna take a couple of steps back. And I'm gonna open it up so that I'm not opening up in front of them, but the berries are just like right there.
You open it and there's a very abrupt shift and like a scuffle and like it stops because it doesn't see you because you kind of like you're around the corner, right?
Mhm.
And like, but you can hear like panting.
Oh, hey, I totally have speak with animals.
Well, talk to
You
Can I talk to it?
you don't see it yet.
Oh, okay.
You
Oh, that means-
very quick, like you see like just ever so slowly kind of eking its way out of this door frame, you see a red fox, and it kind of reminds you of Volpa. And the markings are different, but the colors are relatable. And the fox's ears just pin back, and its eyes just jut to you, and you see this large dead rat in its maw, and it just immediately, like there's an open door, it immediately books off. And you hear it scampering out this back door, darts around the side. You hear a scuffling along the side of the building, and scratches are somewhat muffled and quieted as they go under the house.
Friend of yours?
No. Crap. This makes arson so much more difficult. Okay. So we have to get this fox
Oh,
and
yeah.
whatever else is here out of here by like tomorrow. But we have to get back, and there are things to do.
Okay.
You got that?
I totally get
He'll walk over to Akron, give him a slight little hug, take those good berries off the counter, give them to Akron, and he'll be like, I'll be right back. I gotta set up for tonight.
it. Yeah, totally.
Yeah. And he'll just take the flour, walk out the house, and he'll go like a little ways away, and he'll just start pulling like weeds and things in one general area, just cleaning up one area for later on.
All right.
I believe in you, Akron.
Yeah, so Akron is gonna watch Lillian leave, and he's gonna kind of smile to himself and look around. Okay, so it says that I can cast plant growth over like a certain amount of time, like over a couple of hours, and like enrich the land and cause things to regrow. Can I be doing that like while I'm going to talk to these foxes?
What are you trying to do
Well,
exactly?
Akron saw how happy it made Loon when he brought the little orchid back to life, right? And you said that the place around here looked kind of crappy, so he's thinking, well, maybe it'll brighten his spirits up a little bit more if he brings some life back into the place.
Sure.
Grow, fix the grass up, grow some vines and some plants and some flowers.
You could
and stuff.
probably have a whole bunch of wildflowers begin to bloom all through the
Yeah,
field.
like all over the place. I want it to be gorgeous now.
Okay. Yeah, sure, you can do that.
Sweet. And so while that's going on, he's gonna go and he's gonna cast Speak with Animals and go and try to find this fox.
So you kind of round the side of the house, and you're kind of like looking to see where like the fox has darted out, and you do see like this kind of like there's like this dirt hole that looks to go underneath the house, about the size of like yay big.
Well,
You stick your head in the hole.
no, I go. Hello down there.
How close do you get?
I toss a good berry in first. And I don't get
I'm just asking for the sake of like how much you can see or like
Oh,
from where you are.
I don't know, let's say like 5 feet away from it.
Okay, do you have dark vision?
I am human.
I
That's
have
right.
it.
That's right. you are.
Excuse me. No.
You toss a good berry.
Mhm.
Up. You hear it roll, and then you hear that guttural growl once more. And as you're just kind of listening, you hear squeaks, little squeaks with the growl.
Dang it.
It has babies. I toss in the rest of the good berries.
And when you do that again, like there's just this very protective, guttural growl that is just rippling through the floorboards and just out of this nest, essentially.
Okay, so I will speak to the mama fox, and I will say, I wish your beautiful babies no harm, ma'am.
She just barks back, "Home, intruder."
No, visitor, perhaps just passing through. I would never invade your home.
Good, go.
Well, I do have a little bit of business here while we're here. You see, this used to be my friend's home. He doesn't live here anymore, obviously. It's your home now. But before it was your home, it was his home. She cast Dimension Door.
She cast darkness.
This camera is gonna be the death of me, I swear.
He's here to get a few things.
Good, go.
I made flowers.
No response.
No response? Okay.
Just like the growl
Just
is
the growl.
lower, but like it's just it remains like a purr,
That's cool.
but it remains.
Well, Akron tried. He will get up. He will walk
You
back
never
over
said it. Did you say that you were gonna set the house on fire?
No, not yet.
Okay. Okay. Good to know.
So yeah, he will walk back over
Mama
to the
bear.
and he'll say, so
Yeah, got it done.
no.
Oh,
She
okay.
has babies, Luden, and she's kind of moved in here.
Dang.
Yeah. So, you know.
Can't you did you talk to her?
Mm-hmm. She's very protective of her cubs.
We came all this way, Akron. Did you tell her that the house is gonna be lit on fire?
Well, no, we can't light it on fire now. Babies live there.
Yeah, Akron, but this is really important and we came all this way and it's the last thing I need to do. We can move them though. Not opposed to that.
Yeah, she might be.
Even when we tell her that the house is gonna be on fire?
Listen, I don't know if you've ever told a mother that has her cubs that she has to move them, but they typically don't like that very much. And she already sounded very angry. You don't want to be on the wrong side of the fox. All the rumors about them are very true.
Volpa's a fox.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen it.
Volpa.
Yeah, just talk to the fox. they're normal, and hopefully they'll understand. But Akron, I am burning that house down. I will not kill the foxes and the kids, but we're gonna have to get them out. Like, this is... Look, I have everything else that I got from Levi is gone, except this house.
Mm-hmm.
I want it to go down.
But it's providing shelter to this fox. What if
We can make more shelter. I'm not opposed to that. Just gotta be quick. Foxes don't take up that much space, right? Heck, we could probably make something safer than that house. It's gonna fall down at some point anyway.
What are you doing?
All right then, let's
I'll
go.
talk to him.
Luda's gonna go start. I guess he'll run over to the windmill. He doesn't care too much if that stands up or doesn't stand up, and he'll see if it's even fit to like hold anything or stuff like that. And if not, he's gonna start taking wood and rocks and stuff like that, and start trying to figure out a crude shelter or something like that.
Yeah, the windmill's mostly made of like stone. The door, of course, is wood, but it's mostly made of stone.
Oh, perfect. Then they can move in there. Ludin will go with Akron then to talk to Mama.
Okay.
All right.
You approach said hole,
Yep.
the entrance to the den.
Mm-hmm.
You can
And
speak with animals too, right?
I was about to say I will also cast Speak with Animals.
Awesome. This is gonna be great. Okay.
Okay. You hear that guttural growl as she can hear your footsteps approaching once more.
Hey, mama. So, brought my friend with me. This is Ludin.
Go.
He'll be like, I can't do that. But I can offer you better shelter. And food. And safety. This home is to be destroyed soon. And I need to get you a better home.
Make a persuasion check.
Oh no. Here we go. Let's do it.
Bardic inspiration.
Yeah, do it.
Bardic inspiration.
Thank you. All right, let's see what happens. Is it a D6?
I think so.
All right, I'm gonna throw a D6.
Bardic inspiration. It is a D8
Cool.
actually.
Oh, a D8. Perfect. Okay,
Yeah.
that's a lot better. Let's see what we got.
I'm leveling
Okay, that's an unnatural 20.
Okay. Okay.
You saved me. Hopefully.
Home not safe.
No, not for you or your babies. But
You can hear the children just kind of whining and squeaking a little bit, and she says, you see very slowly, like the nose is kind of like popping out, and you see these yellow eyes just staring at you.
Ludin will
She
just sit
stops,
down on
and
the
she
ground.
just stops. And but her arms are hunched over like this, like very protective of the hole still. But like she very carefully, just ever so gently, like looks around, nose barely exiting this den. She goes, "Where?"
Is the danger? Or where's your new home?
New home. Where?
And he'll point to the windmill.
You see she kind of like just tilts her head a little bit, looking out, but then ducks back in very quickly.
Can I create
And-
like a path of plants, like a walkway that leads up there? It's like safe for her and her kids.
I mean, yeah, you could.
Awesome.
She kind of looks over. She goes, "Straw. bedding, straw.
Said I can get that for you.
She kind of looks back in as like and kind of like paws her nose as like one of the babies just tries to like exit the hole, but like she just paws her nose back and like shoves it back into the hole. And she goes, make home, leave, then move. You no be here when move.
We will give you your privacy.
Yes, we will give you your privacy. And we'll give you a set amount of time, but we must come back one more time. Because the home... We're coming back to make sure...
With your passive insight, essentially she doesn't want you to be like standing there while she moves her babies.
Yeah.
Like she wants you like away and like nowhere near her when she moves them. If she...
Got you. Alright, so Ludin's gonna be like,
Alright, come
okay,
on.
we're gonna go grab some straw.
And
As you
bedding
move,
and water
yes,
and all that good stuff.
all of those things.
And more berries, right?
And plenty, but Ludin will cast Good Berry again, eat one of the good berries, and then put them like in a little pile in front of him, not in front of the thingy, and he'll be like, we're gonna get bedding, water, whatever you need, and we'll be back.
Hole.
You need a hole?
New hole, new home.
Yes, new hole,
Dark,
new home.
safe.
We will go
All
dig
of
a hole as we're gonna get all of those things prepared for you.
Yes.
And by the time, let's see, it's probably, what time is it now?
It's probably like 4 p.m.
Perfect. By the time the sun starts to set, your home should be prepared. And we will not be here.
Okay.
Okay.
She just kind of like exhales and her nose flares and she turns around and she goes back in.
Perfect. All right.
All right.
So we know what we need to do. Let's do it quickly. We have to get back on the road. Okay.
All right. So you prepare. So very quickly, how do you prepare this new fox den? Very quickly.
There's, I assume, lots of overgrown grass, and that's what straw is. So just running across, just pitting a bunch of it in his arms. But you take care of the whole.
There are some loose bricks on the floor inside the windmill. You could essentially that like opens down to kind of like the space that's in between the bottom of the building and the floor that you could move around to kind of give her that hole.
Perfect.
Okay, yeah, we do that. We scoop it out, hollow it out, make it all nice.
Yeah, we're running around as fast as we can, get all that stuff done. I will use
Lay the grass in there all nice for them.
the rest of my spell slots, have their own little just pile of mini tower of good berries, and crawl back out of the thing.
I'll make a little leaf cup and fill it with a bowl, fill up with water somewhere, and put that in there with them.
Yeah. And run back to the like the edge of the woods, I guess.
You and Akron just kind of stand there, just kind of like waiting and waiting. And the sky begins to turn that orange color, and it takes a little while. But you with your perception, you're very keen, and you see like the nose poke out, begin sniffing the air, and then you see her dart back in. She comes out with one in her mouth, and you see her look around and very quickly darts off in the direction that you had designated. And this goes on for a couple minutes. She darts back, then again, just like looking around, sniffing the air with a kit in her mouth, and darts back. And she goes, you kind of watch and you count, and you notice she has about 4.
Okay.
And eventually, as you wait, she doesn't come back. And you get the sense that she has moved her babies at this point.
Okay. Let's do what we came here to do. And he'll actually sit around from this far away
Just take out his bow. Load up take out of the bag like 4 or 5 fire arrows. He'll be like, after this is done, I only got one more thing to do, and then we can be on our way, okay? So
Do
he'll
what you need to.
take out the arrow, and he'll fire one into his old bedroom, one into his parents' bedroom, and the rest around. And I would like to say probably when they were building their thing, he did do a tiny hole maybe around them, and the grass and stuff he took all that away from the around the whatchamacallit, the windmill, so that none of that would catch on fire potentially.
Okay.
But yeah, his goal is to just set the whole thing ablaze.
All right.
Did you want to say a few words?
Not with the house. He'll just watch that and make sure that it doesn't get out of control towards the windmill. If he has to, he'll use gust of wind and make sure it blows in the opposite direction. But he'll just watch that. That one.
It starts.
That one was important, but it wasn't
It starts slow as the flame, the glow within the house begins to grow, and your mind flicks back to your younger memories, and for a second it's as if the hearth is still lit and someone is living there as you watch that orange glow emanate, but you know that that fireplace has long gone out. The flames begin to build, and soon you can see them licking and lapping at the sides of the windows. Did you grab the flower pot?
Yeah, I
Okay.
have the flower pot with me.
You hear some collapsing from within as the flames build in the second story within where your bedroom was. You guess that has collapsed in at this point, and it continues to just engulf, and the thatched roof goes very quickly. And there are some moments where some of the flames kind of cough and choke through some of the windows and send some sparks out into the grass, and you go over and you just stamp it out, and you continue to watch and make sure that the blaze doesn't get out of hand. And the smoke rises, this dark black smoke, charring. You as you watch it, the smoke begins to char the sides of the windows, almost as if the house is crying. The door, long burned away, mouth. It looks like a face, mouth agape, flames churning forth. And you watch until embers.
And he'll walk over and he'll go ahead and cast Gust of Wind and put it all out. And he'll look up and probably see that it's dark at this point. And so he's starting to rush because he knows we only have a little bit of time left. And he'll go over to where he had started making that little area. And he'll pull out the pot and he'll dig a tiny little hole and put it in there. He'll take out his little rock that he got back from over at Saltstone. He'll put it there. And
as you go over, I'm guessing this is the side of the house, you do notice another headstone poking out.
He'll walk over to the headstone.
Where you had thought you buried Logan. And you swore you wrote his name. But on that gravestone is your mother's name. And you realize you did bury a body that day. But it wasn't your brother's. It was your mother's.
He'll sit down and just and yeah, just feels a lot better, you know. I thought I abandoned her.
I can kneel down next to Loon and just put a hand on him, kind of hold him.
And I'll take out the piece of paper that he had written for his mom, and he'll start to read it. And he'll say, "Hey, Mom. I know I was the perceptive one of the group, and I'm sorry. I didn't recognize it. That it wasn't you. And I just wanted to reintroduce myself, because we haven't seen each other in a while. It's your youngest, and I grew up to be like Dad, strong and hopefully somebody that you could be proud of. When I left for Lacambria, I thought you were still here. Thought you were still alive. But you weren't. And it took meeting some pretty incredible people to wake me up. But when I did, I was just really angry, Mom. And everyone keeps telling me to forget, and I don't want to forget. I don't want to forget at all. I miss you so much. And I don't think you're gonna like that I'm gonna be sad about that for a long time. But if I forget, it's like you weren't there, right? He'll just look at Akron and look back at his mom. His mom's grave. I'm gonna be back soon to really talk this through and tell you about all the stuff I've been doing. But I want you to know, in case you didn't, Dad didn't leave by choice. And we were wrong. And he's still out there, and he tried to warn me. So I know he's looking after me still.
So you don't have to worry about that. He has me. And I haven't seen Lucidius yet, but I'm sure Dad's taking care of him too. I see you have some fox friends, and it makes me happy that you're not alone. But I did bring something to help pass the time. And he'll pull out the Fey wine, and he'll just dig a little hole right beside the gravestone, and he'll put it there and bury it, and he'll just say, this is these are some good memories. Enough for a lifetime. So, until I come back, this is for you, and it'll be so. And he'll take his stuff, the rest of his things, and he'll get up and he'll look at Akron and he'll be like,
As you stand up, you feel the smoke. It was, kind of like blowing in your direction. And it blows back out of your face. The breeze is cool and warm. And it's subtle. But you swear you can smell her fresh baked bread. And the breeze just kisses your face for a moment. And then it stops. And it's gone.
he'll sit back down and he'll wait for, I don't know how long, maybe an hour and a half. And just sit with his eyes closed and breathe. And he does feel like a huge weight off his shoulders. I think he's been thinking about just this specifically since he found out about his mom. So he's so adamant about getting here and making sure that it was done. And he's happy a human gets to sit with him for it as well, even though he doesn't understand like the concept of time. And we'll probably head out to the other side and tell Akron they'll probably camp out near his mother's grave for the night. And we'll head out at first light.
And you do so. You lie next to your mother's grave, imagining you probably continue to talk to her as you stare up at the stars. And I think that is where we'll take our break.
Fucking Christ.
Whew. All right.
Cat who loves their mothers. Can I get a whoo yeah?
Text your mama, tell her you love her.
Yeah.
Text your mama, tell her you love her. I don't know if Dylan can hear me right now, but we are going to take a quick break. When we get back, if you thought that was it, that was the highlight, we have more highlights coming up. That is not the end of our session. Let me tell you right now, there's a lot more happening. Yeah, so stick around. We'll be right back. Dylan, take us away. Well, hello there. Of course you came to the grand dwarven city of Digbrand to see me. Marbell Pebblegrit, tale extraordinaire to kings, queens, heroes, and legends. Have you gazed upon my latest masterpieces? Yes, this one for you. Don't you see how it calls to you, speaks your name? You are gorgeous, darling. The colors, the line work, the gods weep in the presence of your beauty. No one has looked more stunning in a pebble grit design. Please, I cannot bear to gaze upon your perfection for too long. You can find this mesmerizing merch at inkinliar.com. Go and unleash your fabulosity today and help support Ink and Liar. Do stop by my shop again. You simply must tell me about all that adventuring thing. Well, ta-ta, darling.
Extra, extra, read all about it!
What's that you've got there, mister?
Why, this right here is 9 Realms Gaming.
9 Realms Gaming?
That's right, top-notch gaming accessories made from some of the finest woods this side of the city has to offer. We got your dice vaults, we got your dice towers, dice trays, hero vaults, you name it.
Oh my!
Careful now, don't swoon into traffic. You can mosey on down to their website now. Use exclusive partner code LIAR10 to get 10% off your purchase.
What was that code again?
That's LIAR10. LYRE 10 at 9realmsgaming.com. Hurry, they're selling like hotcakes.
A 12 does break it.
Really?
Let me play you a song so that you can begin to feel a little nauseous.
Yea, though she walks through the valley of Ikea, she shall fear no wardrobe.
All right.
Oh, does anyone have a lockpick?
No! No, we don't need one!
Wait, are we supposed to count down, or are we just going?
We're here. I think we're here.
Are we here?
Hey guys.
Hello. We are here. Okay.
Yeah.
Hello.
And
we're back.
fine.
Here's everyone. How's everyone feeling?
A little better.
Did you text your moms? I hope so.
We do. If you haven't, get on it. All right. As we get back into the session, we turn our eyes back to Saltstone, where the rest of the party is currently residing. What are we doing over here in Saltstone?
I'm sorry, we can't follow that. No.
We're ending the session here. We're just all inexplicably sad for some reason. Does anyone feel just...
I mean, as Breeze is doing her bathtub thing, and then I don't know if there's stuff that Finn and Prayari want to do today, that would happen.
How many bathtubs are in this place? Is there like only one, or is there several?
I assumed there was a bathroom for room, but maybe I'm just used to luxury.
There's one. There would be one in each room. There are 3, I think 3 or 4 that you know of.
One's in the dungeon. Okay. I guess I could. Okay. So
as Breeze is busy
We
being
return
emotionally
back to-
compromised in a bathtub.
We return back to Saltstone as you pace the halls.
your mind wandering, the night sky filled with fireflies. Not a drop of sadness.
Totally sad.
Except for the usual.
So Finn actually is pacing. He is pacing in the bedroom. He is looking out the window. His mind is elsewhere, and I think he does try to go into the bathroom where Esperise probably is, but he doesn't know that she's in there. So he like opens the door, and he sees her, I guess, the back of her head maybe.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I just need the tub, but I can go find another one. Sorry.
I've been here a long time. I'm wrinkly. Yeah, just give me a second. I can.
Close the door.
Just takes a second. Stands up out of the bed or the bathtub. Dries herself off with prestidigitation. She doesn't use any towels. Empties the tub. Comes out in her fucking Levi garb and is putting her little hair clip hat onto her head when she opens the door she opens the door mid-shift back into her Remblazian robes.
Wait, don't put that on. I mean the hair clip.
Yeah.
I kinda need the tub, but if you want, you could maybe join me for scrying, not for bathing.
What? Sorry.
You ever scryed before? Because I've never done it, and it seems really complicated.
I have seen people do it. What is this? What is this for?
Well, I just figured. I mean, a few weeks ago, my mom sent a message, through here. And, well, she was really desperate, and she told me that she needed me to come home. And she told me Arlen, my stepfather, was dying. So I kind of want to see if it's true. That sounds really bad, but it's weird, right? Because people on my island, they don't die, or at least not so young. I mean, I don't think I've ever seen anyone die.
You believe that your mother is lying?
That's the thing. I don't know. Like, I have this feeling that it could be a lie or it could not be, but there was so much, she was so frantic that it was kind of hard to tell. So I kind of wanted to see, because I tried to, send a message back, but she wouldn't reply.
Okay. And so you want to scry on Arlen, on your stepfather?
Yes.
Yes, I can. Is there anything I can do to help with this, or just support, or?
Well, it requires holy water, apparently.
Oh yes, okay.
Which I figured we could maybe do together, since you worship Levi now, like me.
Yes.
And maybe we could, I don't know. I guess that's how that works, right? I think you just make it holy water, and then you have to put something probably in the water in order to connect you with the person that you're trying to spy on. That also sounds really bad, but...
Yes, I mean, it could take a couple different forms of scrying, but yes, sometimes pool of water with... Do you have something of Arlen's, or do you just... If you know him, it makes things easier, or...
I mean, I definitely know him, but I have this, and he holds out his finger, and he has a ring on it. It's like a copper ring with a little falchion and a circle around it. This is my clan sigil.
It is also your, sometimes when you are fighting things, it will come out and...
Oh, the falchion, yeah.
Oh.
That's kind of our clan weapon too. It's just, I didn't really want that, and then it just kind of showed up. Like, that's so unfair. Why can't I pick my own spirit weapon? It just kind of like was there.
Yeah.
I threw mine out before I left my island. I mean, yeah.
Well, it seems like it followed you anyway then, if it still shows up.
Yeah, it has. But I'm hoping this ring will help us.
Yes, no, it should very much. Do you just want to, are we blessing bathtub water? Is that the plan?
Sure, I think that's like probably the easiest way to do it. And then it's a big enough pool of water. We'd be able to see everything.
Okay. I started, I'm gonna lean over and I'm gonna pull the stopper so it was like halfway drained and I'm gonna start refilling the tub. It's sort of scented right now. Scented water is okay.
Sure, I don't know why. Maybe that'll make it even more holy.
Okay.
Maybe bathing in it makes it holy. I don't know. How does holy water happen?
Well, the Remblation water, you do bathe in it, but I don't. Levi seems less wet in general. I mean, I am not. I don't know all that much about Levi and how he might bless water, so I can only tell you how we did it at our temple.
Well, Levi doesn't really have a temple per se, right? Like, we are his temples, like his walking temples. So, maybe we should put leaves in it.
Okay, we could put Snonk in it too. I mean, the very thing I've heard about Levi is like in the books I read and things is he is a god of the elves and of beauty and of art, in which case sweet-smelling water and flower petals maybe would attract. But I also know that he sometimes comes to you when you change out my sister's facial ointment with something that gives her a terrible rash. So, whatever is blessed to you, I suppose.
I mean,
I don't think we should pee in the bathtub, which is where my mind goes first.
Well, has all the bath water drained out?
I closed it back up, so I could reopen it if you want to drain it out.
Well, I mean, my friends are blessed to me, and you're blessed to me, so maybe we could keep this water in here. Maybe it'll work.
All right.
We make our gamer girl bath water.
All right.
Olivia's like, I'm done.
This
like,
whole time.
approach the tub, my child.
Okay.
Grace has been very tense this whole conversation. He is just through talking to Finn, seeming a little bit more grounded.
If it helps, I can cast ceremony to make it more official.
Oh no. I know Esperise cannot make holy water because she is a sorcerer and she does not have that spell.
I have it.
You
just helped me make the holy water.
Yeah, by bathing.
You lean over the tub, and for a brief flash, you do see Levi's face, and he raises an eyebrow at you, and he disappears.
Okay, I think he approves. I saw him. Yes, I think I saw him. Yeah, that was definitely him. Okay, all right. So Finn will take off the ring and put it into the middle of the tub, and like stir it with his finger. Ceremony.
You get the urge to put your head in this water.
All right, Esperise, just one moment. Lean over and dunk his head in.
You dunk your head in the water, and like you just watch as Finn just kind of stands there, and his body goes limp for a moment. he's just like slumped over the tub. What you see, Finn, your vision is hazy at first, and then it begins to clear. And you see your mother. She's pacing back and forth, and she seems distressed and agitated. Your stepfather, he's sitting on the couch, kind of head in his hands, rubbing his temples,
And you seem to be hovering in the corner of the room just above and behind your brother as you kind of like look down, kind of looking around the room.
Can I real quick just like, can Finn be like
He doesn't see you.
No, to Esperise, like in real life, like dunk your head too, so you can see this.
Oh no,
it's working.
Okay.
Obviously, he's not saying that. There's like bubbles coming out.
Sure, that's not how the spell works, but she'll bob her head into the bathwater.
Could you see anything?
Sure. For funsies. For funsies. Why not? Why not? It's for fun.
Yeah.
You dunk your head in and like you immediately like you feel like kind of like this water enter your nostrils for a second. You feel that burning I don't know what oil you put in your bath water, lavender maybe, but whatever oil kind of like burns the back of your throat for a second. And then you see what Finn sees. You watch your brother Finn as he kind of closes his mouth and then he opens. He looks very agitated and he's leaning against the wall and he avoids the gaze of your parents. Then he opens his mouth to speak, but your mother cuts him off, stopping him dead in his tracks. I will not say it again, Reuven. And he closes his mouth and the muscles in his cheek tighten as he shakes his head. And you notice your mother look up very quickly, directly in your direction, Finlay. And then she very quickly breaks eye contact, and her demeanor changes. She's calm and collected. Reuven, please, give your father and I a moment. Out the door there. She points, and without hesitation, he shakes his head, frustrated, and just leaves in a huff. And you watch your mother kneel down in front of your father, and she places her hands on the side of his head where he had been rubbing his temples. This illness that plagues you, I can't bear to see you in pain. And you see his eyes snap open, looking at her, and he freezes. And everything is silent and still for a heartbeat as she stares up at him, lips pursed very tensely. His face relaxes and he lets gravity kind of pull him down into the chair. Each day I feel it dig deeper under my skin. It's hopeless. Have you heard from Finlay? Is he coming home? I feel my mind is slipping from me. And your mother, she inhales sharply for a moment. I will try again. I know you wish to see him before you join the ancestors. I will try. Please, let me help you to rest. She holds out her hand for him to take, helps him into their bedroom, kind of lays him down and places a damp cloth on his forehead and just watches over him.
Can I do like an insight check? Is that possible? Finn doesn't do many insight checks, but he's like
absolute horse shit that is being presented to us.
Deanna, I'm allowing you to be in this scene. No, I'm not gonna let you do it. You don't know these people at all.
So Finn would like to go up to like the side of the bed because he's like, oh god, did my mom just see me? It's not possible. So he'll go up to the side of the bed and just like go really, really close to his dad. And he's looking for like signs of sickness, like bags under his eyes. Like, does he look worn and tired? And does it look like he's been sick a while? So can I do an insight check? Or, ooh, actually, no, it's the same thing. Can I do an insight check?
Yes, do an insight check.
Okay. Okay. Oh, did I? Okay. 26.
26? Okay. His breath seems to be he seems to be breathing, like his breath isn't like staggered or anything. He just kind of lays with his eyes closed and he looks peaceful. He doesn't look like he's sick. His skin doesn't look taut. He looks fine. He looks like he's just sleeping.
So Finn will kind of straighten
But
up.
your mother you see your mother just like watching over him, dabbing his head and just kind of sitting. She's got this worried look on her face. And every once in a while you see her eyes kind of cut to the right. She doesn't look at you, but she looks in the direction.
Okay, actually, Finn will stay kind of like kneeling real close to his father, and he'll kind of turn his head a little, and he'll look over at his mom. Can you see me? Mother, can you see me?
No response, as if you're not there.
Look at me. If you look at me and talk to me, then I may consider coming home.
Don't believe that's how the spell works.
Oh, it's not? I don't know.
No, you can't. But who knows if Finn knows that?
Yeah, he's just like, Okay. He's seen all he needs to see.
And you feel yourself being pulled back, and as you realize your head's still underwater, you realize like your breath, like you haven't gotten enough oxygen and you've been holding it for quite a long time, and you just kind of
I'm actually drowned.
back out of the water.
Look over to Esprit. So what did you think of that?
I don't know your family, but
They're lying to me, and he like slaps his hand on the water.
Esprit is smart enough to know, like, that didn't seem kosher.
That was your brother, Reuven?
Yeah, that was my brother, Reuven. They seemed upset with him for some reason.
Yeah. Have you tried to... The only person that you talked to since you came here is your mother, right? Have you tried to talk to Reuven at all?
I haven't yet. I didn't really want to get him in trouble, you know? He knew I left the day that it happened. And he let me.
Right.
And... I don't know. I feel like they would know somehow. Like if I contacted him, maybe I should try. But she was looking right at me. She like turned and she looked right at me. And then she did that whole thing with Arlen. She just pretended like he was sick and dying. But I've seen dying people, okay? Like, I am much more mature now that I have gone to battle and been in the real world. And I know what a dying person looks like. I've brought dying people back to life. And he was not dying. Okay, I haven't seen, like, a lot of sick people, but I assume it's like a few of the same things.
Yeah, I have seen sick people. He was fine. Why would your mother be lying to you?
She's been wanting me to come back to the Isle for a while now.
Why?
And I guess... I don't know. I mean, I wasn't really supposed to leave in the first place. I kind of snuck off. People don't leave my home. That's why I was so surprised to meet Addie. You know, she left. But I assume they're getting some grief from me leaving. Maybe they're afraid that I'll reveal, like, the location of the Isle. They're really strict about that, too. They don't want any outsiders knowing where they are. But I don't know. She just really, really wants me to come home. And I've been scared of this because I don't want to go home because I know if I do, they'll never let me leave again.
I have a question that you don't have to answer it because I might not have all the information. I don't know everything about where you come from, but I do know the Isle of Ancients, I believe it is.
Ages.
Ages. They worship the old gods. So you think they might know anything?
I mean, what would they know? They worship Vera. I was brought up worshiping Vera. I don't know what kind of information they could get all the way out there, but maybe. But what are you saying? Like
I don't know. I think I see everything now as being connected to something larger, and maybe your mother just wants a son to come home. Maybe that is everything. It seems strange.
if my mother wanted her son to come home, she shouldn't be lying about it. And he reaches over and he unplugs the tub, and he watches as the ring slowly floats towards the drain and then goes down. That's not cool, telling somebody that your stepdad is dying so that they'll freak out for weeks on end, and it'll be on the forefront of my mind. And I don't even know what I would have done if he actually was dying, honestly.
I'm sorry. I am glad that he seems to be well, but I am sorry that you are going through this. I wish that there was an easy solution. If there is anything that I can do to help, if you need someone to look really intimidating at your mother, shoot maybe some lightning at some trees.
You know what? You have helped tremendously already. You helped me with the scrying. I'm not even sure that bathwater really would have worked without you.
I provide lots of scented bathwater. That is my main.
I don't think it's going to be a problem, because I don't think I'm going to be seeing them anytime soon. I mean, he looks a little sad when he says that.
If there is an opportunity, brotherhood means a great deal. The people that you love matter a great deal, and if you can speak to your brother, I think I would hope for you that you can.
Maybe I should try.
You don't have to,
I should probably try. Eventually. Not now.
Not right now. I think it might be a little bit jarring.
But seeing that has given me other ideas. Things I have to pursue, you know?
Do I want to know what they are, or is it more door handles?
He leans forward a little bit. There's like a gleam of mischief in his eye, and he's like, I'm gonna take prey tonight on a dream, and we're gonna go talk to an ancient tree that's alive and fed by bodies.
You sure are.
She doesn't know it yet.
Yes. Does Samson know about it?
He knows. He told me not to do it. So I'm gonna do it.
You know what?
What?
No. It sounds like a very good idea. What kind of bodies does the tree eat? Do you know this?
Yeah, elven bodies.
Okay, so like from your elven bodies, like
Yes.
Okay, so
At least that's what it looked like. I think this spirit has answers in my dream. So instead of just waiting to fall asleep and have it come to me, which sometimes it does, it's been doing it even before I went on this adventure, I'm going to go to it.
Okay.
With prey.
Great. So your plan is, are you going to fall asleep and then knock on the edges of Prayaria's mind and go, good evening, time to go to the people eater tree? Or do you have an entrance strategy?
Well, I mean, I've never done it before. But I think I have everything planned. I have a ritual circle I'm going to build, and she's going to know about it beforehand. I'm not just going to show up in her dream and be like, hey, Prey, come on, let's go. Because I think she might be a little angry at me if I did that.
I've never seen Prayaria particularly angry. You know, righteousness, yes, but
But you probably should know, because we'll be up there. And he points to the top level of the room. And just, if we don't wake up in 2-3 hours, maybe then start to worry.
Okay. Yes, I can absolutely. I will watch over you.
Okay. Thank you.
Never mind. Why don't you get started getting that ready?
What? Did you want to say something?
No. Not today.
Okay. He reaches out and kind of takes her hand, squeezes it a little bit, and then he'll turn and he'll leave.
She'll clean the bathtub.
Oh yeah, I was supposed to help with that.
Having something to do, she'll clean the bathtub. And we'll feel good having something to do.
Yeah. You clean the bathtub? Finalai, when do you approach Prayaria?
Where is Prey?
How do you approach Prayaria?
Where is Prey right now?
So threatening, where is she?
Where do I swoop down?
I'll say at this point she's in the kitchen having a snack.
Okay, so Finn is probably going around the estate, just looking in every room. And finally he pops his head into the kitchen and he sees her and he's like, oh, there you are. And he'll come on in.
She has a mouthful of some kind of cake.
Hey, what you doing?
Just finishing some dessert from earlier. It was very good. Would you like some?
Yeah.
I mean,
He'll
it's yours.
hike up on the counter and he'll take a piece of the cake and he'll just start eating it. So, what plans do you have for tonight, Prey?
This and probably more reading until I fall asleep.
You see Mountain taking some of the cake and just smushing it on his face.
Oh.
Little pebble.
I mean, if you want to, I might have something more exciting than reading tonight planned. And that's saying something because I love to read.
And what does little Finalai have planned?
Well, there's this dream I want to enter. More like a nightmare that I've been having for the last... Well, it's been a while. I have this nightmare frequently. But the most recent time I had this nightmare... Wait, I should probably backpedal a little bit. So in this nightmare, there is...
Okay, she puts down the cake.
a really tall, scary ancient spirit. But I didn't know it was an ancient spirit when I first saw it. Livy told me it was an ancient spirit. And so it's been like kind of staring ominously at me for the last few years, but finally it started to lead me somewhere. And it led me to this wall of runes, and then it made a glowing crack in the wall, and then it led me to a tree with like actual bodies growing out of the roots, and it had a heartbeat.
And you want to go back there purposefully?
Well, I mean, so the last time I had this nightmare, Levi told me that maybe the ancient spirit's trying to tell me something, right? And so, I mean, I think he's right. He wouldn't lie to me and tell me that's not the case. So I need
I'll
to
take
like.
your word for that.
So I need to figure out what the ancient spirit is trying to tell me, because the ancient spirit could be telling me something really important that's related to the seven. And I think the tree also might have something related to the seven. And the bodies and the roots are of elves, like elves from my island. And I've never seen where the elves go when they die. And Levi even asked me, Finn, do you know where the elves go when they die? And I was like, I don't know. I have no clue.
Go to this death tree?
I don't know. I've never seen this death tree on my island. At least I don't think so. I think I would have noticed that, don't you?
I would hope so, but then I have never seen your island.
So I sit there and I'm thinking to myself, Finn, who out of your friends knows the most about trees? Who's actually lived amongst trees all their life? Who talks to trees? Praria.
Oh, wow. Well, she's gonna think back to being with her mother in the garden, getting the ill omen of her family's of her home's destruction, and she's gonna look at Finn.
Finn's eyes get a little bigger and puppy-like.
Yep. What's one more? What's one more of these things?
Does that mean yes?
We're going to go first. Can the dream hurt or kill or maim us in any way?
I don't know, but I don't think that the ancient spirit would hurt us, because I think it's trying to protect us, or me, or tell me something. So I think it'll be okay, but just in case I can do something, maybe put a protection spell on us or something. I don't know if it'll carry into the dream, but we can try.
Okay,
Finn pauses for a moment, and he's like, I mean, if you don't go with me, I'll just have to go on my own.
That's not happening.
Oh, really? Okay. You're gonna go with me then?
Yeah, let's she'll grab one more bite of cake. Okay. Now? We're going now?
No time better than now. Let's go.
This may as well happen tonight. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. What does preparing this ritual look like? Finala.
I'm sorry, where am I?
Samson sees us walking down the hall.
I'm gonna say I'm running interference at a window somewhere. Because my only watching, so I'm like, well, Samson's not gonna like this. I'll just stand at a window and look for birds.
I'm gonna have to assume that I'm like on a roof brooding somewhere, very upset. Like something's wrong and I can feel it, but I'm not sure where.
Samson's up there like, Finala.
Something's wrong.
Just going off. It's like, I don't know what it is though.
Something's wrong and I can feel it.
Your old man sense is tingling.
Oh, real quick, before we draw the circle and get that all sorted out. Do you have any valerian root?
She'll start going through all of her pockets. I don't think so.
There's got to be valerian root somewhere in there, right? You have like every plant in your pocket.
I'll say you have some valerian root.
She gets down in her shoe, like, yeah.
Yay! Yes, that. Take it. Okay. And do you have like a mortar and pestle or something?
Those I do not carry in pocket.
Okay. Let me run to the kitchen real quick. He'll go get that and he'll run back. Okay. So, and he'll start grinding it as they're walking to the room. Okay, so this stuff I researched is supposed to make your dreams really vivid and really intense. As if it's not already, right? I mean, but it should be good.
Didn't eat it.
Okay, so let's go up to the top floor of the room, and he will start he'll start drawing a circle big enough for both of them to lie down in. And he will okay. So the point of this is we kind of have to drift off into sleep. But I don't think we have to be really sleepy per se. Because this spell
Put us to sleep?
I think so. I think this spell will lull us into sleep.
Alright. She'll take Mountain out of her pocket and put him outside the circle.
Oh yeah, we don't want him to be in the circle. Because he might fall asleep and come with us.
Mountain like holds onto your finger when you try to drop him and he doesn't let go.
It's alright, my little devil. Just stay here. We'll be right back.
He
looks at
his glassy eyes seem to look sadder. His big glass, and he sits down at the edge of the circle with his legs plopped out, and he just looks down at the line and then back at you, and he just looks very sad.
Here, she'll take out like a little round rock and just like, here, you can play with this.
He takes the rock and he holds it to him like a stuffed animal for comfort.
My son.
Oh, and before we go on this journey, here, and he'll reach out his arm, clasp my arm,
Okay.
and he will cast warding bond on them, which is basically just like a protective spell that gives a +1 to AC. Basically, they feel more protected, more bonded, kind of like more sturdy. All right, and has resistance, so you feel stronger, right? Because we don't know what we're facing when we go in this, but I kind of do. Don't worry.
See, Mountain? You're in good hands.
Mountain just kind of like shoulders rise, holding the rock. He doesn't like he still looks apprehensive that you can tell, Praeria. As far as Finn knows, his face looks exactly the same, but you can sense the apprehension.
Just pat him on the head a little.
Okay. Now just lie down on your back, and I'll lie down the opposite way so that our temples are close together.
Okay. Very revolutionary girl, Lieutenant.
And he's going to take the grinded valerian root, and he's going to put a little bit of it on his temple and a little bit of it on Prey's temple so that it is facing each other. And he's going to be like, okay, close your eyes. And he is going to slowly tune into his heartbeat. And Prey, you're also going to feel the slow rhythmic beat of Finn's heartbeat start to kind of pulse through the floor.
Oh god, that is... oh no.
And it creeps up your feet and through your fingers and up your legs, and it just starts to kind of like tremble both of them. And and a green energy is just like also pulsing, and a small thread, magical thread, slowly grows from his temple to hers. And the room, or at least the bubble they're in, begins to grow ice cold. As cold as like death.
That bodes well. This is fine. It will be fine.
Yeah.
All right, let's switch things over. You drift off. Very drowsy, dizzying sleep. And a cold breeze hits both of your faces. You open your eyes. You find yourselves, or at least you find yourself, in the familiar woods that you remember in a line. The trees are skinny and unnaturally tall, as if they are desperately trying to escape their home. The branches crawling up in an attempt to latch onto the light, an attempt to escape the darkness below. And the silence is once again deafening. The birds, the animals, nothing but silence. And that light fog passes through, and you get that sense of being watched once more. You can smell the rotting moss and the heavy cold that kind of chills you to the bone. The groan of that gnarled tree moans out in the distance as if to welcome you home. And there is a distinct difference to this dream. Everything is more focused and clear. The hair on the back of your neck begins to stand on edge. Before, there was a sense of etherealness to your dream, and something instinctual tells you that you're not safe.
So this is the place. And he's trying to kind of hide his like, oh my god, what did I just do? Because, okay.
Praria looks sick.
So, we don't have to be in here very long, but we do have to try and find the spirit and the tree.
You lived here.
I mean, I don't know. I don't think so. This isn't the place I recognize. But the tree does have elves. You'll see it. You'll see it once you get there. Come on.
He'll take her hand and he'll start to kind of like walk towards the groaning noise.
You begin walking rather quickly, and you see a sharp, like, you hear like a noise, and you turn to your right, and you see that figure, and it's floating towards you. The tall, slender figure, its limbs are abnormally long like its fingertips, its skin white, cracked like the bark of birch trees. Hair is white, tousled, and unkempt, its eyes yellow, without pupils and sunken into the dark circles beneath. And its eyes now are wide and frantic. For the first time, you hear it speak. "What are you doing here? You must." And before it can speak any further, you watch as its neck cracks back, and in agony, you watch the creature explode into dust right before your eyes. And the dust hits your face and stings at your eyes, and you cough against it. You sharply inhaled from the abrupt panic, and you just... What do?
That wasn't supposed to happen. That was the ancient spirit. It was supposed to give me answers, and now it's blown up. We need to go. Like pulls on her.
Where?
To the tree. So he like pulls her and starts like running towards the tree. That wasn't supposed to happen. It's never done that before. It's not even ever spoken to me before.
Is this because we're here like this?
I don't know if it's, but I don't know. I've never done this before.
Well, what do we do now?
Can
you wake us up?
No, I can't. I don't know how. We're gonna go to the tree. Sometimes when I touch the tree, I get sucked out of this dream.
Okay, let's to the tree.
As you approach, the moonlight reveals more roots. You see
the gaunt arms that you once again almost mistake it for a root, but there it is, an arm. The skin stretched out over the bone, reaching up from beneath the gnarled roots. And you look around the rest of the roots intertwined, and you see bodies. Some that no longer breathe, others that lay at the base of the tree. You see very, very old elves, skin wrinkled and taut against their bones. The most visible ones are curled up at the base of the tree, sleeping along the base, breaths slow and even, dreaming. You see some of the roots pull up underneath their skin, others that look to have been there much longer. You see their bones streaked like the grain of the wood. Hundreds of bodies lie in the base of this tree, and you're not sure how many there are total. And all these bodies grown over by the gnarled roots. And as you approach, you hear, "Come." You both hear this, and you both feel this pull in your gut toward this massive tree. Your feet coax you to move forward, beg you to move forward. But the hairs raise on the back of your neck, and your head tells you otherwise.
That's the tree. It's never spoken before either.
I don't like what it says.
Can we try and resist walking towards it?
Sure, you don't have to.
Ben is going to try and drop to his knees and touch his lips, touch his fingers to his lips, and then touch it to one of the body's lips. Can I cast Speak with the Dead on one of these? Or are they too far gone? Nothing?
As you do, like, especially the ones that's breathing, nothing happens.
Come on, wake up! He'll try and slap the face of the one that's breathing. Come on! I don't know. I'm just trying to talk to one of them. It's breathing, so maybe they can tell us what's going on.
Nothing happens. You continue to attempt to wake this individual up, and you hear once more, "Come, child."
Oh, okay. Last time the tree didn't talk, and the ancient spirit didn't blow up, but we came here for answers, and the tree is talking, right? It is talking, right?
I'm hearing something. Your god said that the spirit wanted to talk to us, right? That he had something to say?
That's what I thought. Yeah.
Nothing about the tree.
I mean, I don't think so. I don't remember Livy saying anything about the tree. But last time I touched the tree, it got me out of the dream. So maybe if we touch the tree, it'll do that.
Her eyes looks around her at this godforsaken place.
I mean, other than the bodies, the tree doesn't look that bad, right? I was gonna ask you to...
Looks bad.
I was gonna ask you to talk to the tree, but then it started talking on its
Talking
own.
just fine.
I know! Okay. If you want, I can touch it first. All right.
You go and touch the tree?
Yes.
Okay. You walk over and you just kind of press on the tree, and the bark is hollow. It gives away and it kind of falls backward, and you can actually see the inside of the tree. You kind of touch it and you kind of look in. The inside of the tree is massive. It's very large, like a fey oak. But I don't want to confuse this tree with a fey oak. It's very different in appearance and nature. And you kind of see the strips of bark are darkened red like bits of muscle and sinew, and spider out from one side to the other and entangle and clot in some sections. You don't see a heart,
But you know you felt one the last time you were here. You were sure of it. Kind of look down the vast, large, hollowed space, and you see it goes down and down, and you could climb the sinew and muscle bark down very easily, if you wished.
Real quick, before I do that, are the branches completely bare above?
Yeah, they would be.
Okay. So Finn will turn and look at Prey. I need to go in this tree. There's something inside here. And I feel like my nightmares have been leading me up to this point. When I tried to touch the tree before, I got snapped out of it, but now I can see inside it. You don't have to... Go ahead.
Cast light? Or try to? Does that happen?
Nothing happens.
She'll just like look at her hand.
But you can see inside.
Okay.
Like you can see you can see it.
It looks like it's alive inside.
And this is what you have to do?
Yeah. You don't have to come if you don't want to.
I'm not leaving. I'm not staying here.
Okay. Well, hold my hand then.
She'll hold
More
it.
for me than you.
It's very clammy.
All right, let's go inside.
All right. You begin to climb down the bark-like sinew. Wait. Can people hear me?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. You begin to climb down the bark-like sinew and muscle. And as you climb down, you just kind of hear this very low, subtle pulse. You feel it kind of radiate outward from below, and you feel it ripple upward and above. And as you climb down, you enter this hollowed out chamber beneath the tree. The root system twisting and weaving together between dark iron soil that sends a chill down your spine. The dirt here is a deep red, and you can see the skeletal remains of bodies that are further down underneath in this root system. Skin taut, dried out, and drained of all their vital essence. The black, empty sockets stare back at you with half-open grins. And you can smell and taste the metallic rust of the air on the tip of your tongue as you look all around you. And it's very dark down here now. You can't see past maybe like 5 feet in front of you. The rest of the chamber is kind of cast into absolute darkness, but you do feel and kind of hear that slow boom, 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 as your feet kind of touch the soil down here. The pulse quickens a little bit.
All right. Forward, I guess.
There's nowhere else to go.
You take a step forward. One step. And you hear a shift in the darkness. Out in the chamber ahead of you. And you are in this massive chamber that you've just climbed down into, and you look out into that darkness.
You cannot hide from the blood of Cassius. And you, broken ruler, you do not belong here. I know what you have done. I have seen every step you have taken. I have heard every beat of your heart from the beginning. And I will hear every single one until your very last. You have taken something very dear to me, blood of Cassius. You have taken what does not belong to you. You dare twist the mind of my champion? Your life was to be given with honor for me. But now, I will take it slowly. You will beg for mercy. You will beg for forgiveness. Your retribution will echo and scream into the nine hells, and every minion and demon, Zariel herself, will feel your agony. You entered this world because I made it so, and you will leave this world because I am your end. I am the end for all of you. I will raise and salt this world until every licentious creature breathes no more. And you, Finlay, blood of Cassius, the stolen champion, it all starts with you.
And you watch as a deep pulse moves throughout the entire cavern, and it's ignited with a red energy. And you see the wood begin to glow this vibrant red, expanding and contracting like veins. The bark clotting together against the wall, all moving toward the center chamber, and there, suspended above the largest polished stone you have ever seen. Fractured in some places along the edges, but the similarities are clear as the day you saw the stone on Sunbask Isle absorb the energy of the Swindletons. There, suspended above the stone, the heart of this tree, a female humanoid figure. Like the web of a spider, the roots coalesce to her, digging under her skin, along the back, her arms, sending waves of energy throughout her body. She is partially formed, part flesh, part something else. Part of her face is frozen, as if slowly turning from bark to flesh, and the expression of her lips parted and relaxed against the lifeless black eye. The other side of her face, full and pulsing with energy. Her dark red lips breathing heavily, glaring out at you with merciless fury. A web of sinew weaves around her head, spiking out in 7 points like a veil, like a crown. She seems to be wearing a gown of similar nature, of sinew and moss that stretches out around her. There's a move of her head, and you hear this squelching sound as she moves. She looks very similar to Lilith from like Diablo 2. You see the moist iron dripping down her shoulders and body all the way down to her toes. Small droplets along the tips of her toes, dripping down onto the large, polished stone. Each drip sending a wave of energy out. And you realize the stone is resting in a massive basin of rust-colored liquid.
Okay, first of all, this is Finn's worst nightmare come to life, I would just like to say.
Gar is holding his hand very tightly.
But he's trying not to let it show. And he stares up at Vera. And his face twists. And he's just like, no! Cassius is mine! And I am Levi's! And we're gonna be the end of you.
you see a smile begin to form across her face as she raises her hand, the ferrous sinew cracking as she moves quickly, and both of you are immediately impaled from behind, and the pain ripples up throughout your entire body. You feel this needle-like prickling sensation seeping into your bloodstream. Your heartbeat struggles, each pump sending sharp pain rippling throughout your entire bodies. You feel yourselves being pulled off the ground toward the figure, her head tipping forward to look you both in the eyes as she moves forward against this sinew. And you can't move. A sense of paralyzing fear filling your entire body, your muscles and joints locking up, and you watch as your fingers and arms begin to sink in slightly, like a grape beginning to become a raisin.
I am great mother of the earth. I am the harvest. I am the mountain, and you will beg for the end before I am through.
We return to Saltstone.
I'm sorry, what?
How long have they been asleep? How long have they been asleep?
Yeah, how long? What's going on? Where am I? Where are we?
You all go to dinner, maybe?
No. Finn said, hey, you need to watch over me while I'm asleep, and I'm fucking doing that, bro.
Esperise, you're watching.
Okay.
An hour goes by.
Cool. As I said in the chat, you can check the timestamps. After an hour, I'm working them up.
You walk in there. What do you do? You walk in this room. You see them both lying on the floor.
I'll poke him a little bit to try to wake him up.
Nothing happens.
I'm gonna send a message to Samson, as I also said I would do in the chat. I'm on high alert here. Message is anywhere, I think, within 200 feet, so if you're in the building.
Yeah, I'm in the building. I'm in the building.
Yeah, for sure. Our companions are asleep. Some magical thing, if you could come and give me assistance with this, thank you very much. I'm gonna try to wake up Finalai. You know you're my favorite. I'm gonna try to wake up Prayaria first.
I'm gonna hear an insane statement and respond with, oh, I'm sorry, what?
Magical sleep. Finalai has put them under a magical sleep and it has been an hour. So if you would come quickly, that would be much appreciated. Thank you so much.
Okay. With that very casual conversation, I go to the Vardo first and get like an antidote for one of Prayaria's like sleep berries, so that I just assume they ate the wrong berry and it's gonna be fine. I take like 5 extra minutes to do so before I arrive.
If it takes you longer than 30 seconds, I need you to come now. Thank you, please.
All right, cool. All of a sudden I'm a bird and I'm flying through the window, just appearing in the space.
This is not, I'm casting spell. It's taking every time. Is there, let me see here. I don't have anything that will wake anybody up. Finalai has cast, I don't know exactly, the spell. He wants to go into dream with Prayaria to investigate something. He said, wake up if it's been hour or more, so I am doing this. I don't have anything in particular that could wake them up, but I am a little bit concerned about what is happening.
I'm gonna look at the ritual. Is it the exact same ritual that I told Finn absolutely not to fucking do ever? Like that I showed Finn because he asked and I trusted him. And the one that I told him never ever to do. And his Prayaria inside this circle. Is it the same one?
Yeah, this is Prayaria, all right.
Yeah, I'm gonna assume it is. All right, great. I'm gonna cast Dispel Magic at 5th level and try to wake them up. Just Dispel Magic on Finn, who I assume is the caster. And so you got, everyone would see, obviously I'm gonna pull all the light from the room as it goes dark in here at night, and then this powerful orange and green kind of fate energy goes into Finn to try to dispel it out at 5th level, trying to pull him from this dream as strongly as I possibly can.
Nothing happens.
As it goes into Finn and everything that Samson has, and there's like sweat dropping down his cheek at this point, as everything Samson has goes into Finn to try to dispel and break whatever ritual he has cast, it all goes in, and there's a moment of silence and darkness, and all the lights come back on, and they're still asleep.
Okay, it seems very...
They are breathing very gently, as if napping quite peacefully.
I'm sorry, Esprit, what the fuck is going on?
Finn and I mentioned fairly casually that he is doing something. He wanted to investigate a tree that eats elves on his island at home, and he thought Prearia might be able to help with it. I don't know entirely the details. He was dealing with some personal family issues at the time, so I tried to be supportive. I'm just here to wake them up afterwards, and it is not happening. So, I am going to cast Magic Missile on Finn.
I'm gonna counterspell that.
Okay. You know, to wake someone up, sometimes you have to do something.
I counterspell is like, you're gonna kill him!
I'm not gonna kill him, he's asleep!
He's unconscious!
Okay, he's not unconscious, he's asleep!
Look at him! That's the same thing!
Okay.
I go over there and I slap him.
And you take 1 bludgeoning damage. But you remain asleep.
How long have you known?
What? To know what?
That they were doing this! Why didn't you call earlier?
40 minutes, because they said it would be fine for the...
Fucking hell, Esprit, what? Like, you're supposed to be the one who knows this sort of shit.
Well, then he said it was going to be a little nap time with a friend. I don't know.
And when do we ever believe Finn?
I don't know most of the time, just... Okay.
Never! Fuck! And I just punch Finn again.
Finn, you take another bludgeoning damage, and I guess you have a black eye now.
I'm gonna storm out of the room and go find Groon. See if he's got a spell for dreams so we can go in and find these fuckers.
When he storms out of the room, I'm going to pray.
And with that,
I think
that is where we will end tonight's session.
We staying in the dream? Okay, I guess we can stay in the dream.
That is where we were gonna end tonight's session tonight, guys. I hope you enjoyed this roller coaster. I was so excited about this ending. Let me go ahead while you guys stew and seep into what has just happened this evening, guys.
I love you too, Lauren. I love you too.
Incredible.
I want to let you guys know I love you. So you know. Let me thank our followers here. Let me scroll back. Let's see. Thank you, hello Love Doves, for the reset. Mac is like,
you're welcome.
How dare you? Mac is like, how dare you? Thank you, Lotsky, for the 10 bits, Mac for the community sub, Flocko Bomb for the 100 bits, and the hype train that we had earlier. Hello, Love Doves for the 100 bits, Flocko Bomb for the 5 community subs, Brother B for the 100 bits, Lotsky with the 10 bits, Flocko Bomb with another 5 to 15 subs. Thank you so much, Flocko Bomb. We had a hype train. That was amazing. Heavy Weight RPG for the follow. Crazy Texan for the follow. And then Flock Obama with another 5 gifted subs. Afraid Not for 5 gifted subs. Thank you so much. Blue Stripes for the follow.
I'm typing in the chat right now. Sorry.
Wait, I know. I hear you like.
They say the music is very loud and very ominous.
The music is loud. Sorry, I was typing that. Hadek's my dad. Alabama just lost the national championship. It's fine.
Here, I'll
Shut up! Oh my
Damn.
god.
Did they really?
All right.
They really did.
crap.
It's okay. It's okay. Shout out to
That
Kirby
just-
Smart.
just-
It's fine.
Capped off.
Work is gonna be hilarious tomorrow.
Blue stripes for the follow, Flock Obama for the 100 bits, and certifiable nerd for the follow as well. I'm just gonna read some of these. We had so many comments while I was reading through that.
Do any of them say "fuck Finn"? Like, do any of them say that?
Not
or
a
no?
one.
None? Okay, great.
Oh, thank you, certifiable nerd. Thank you so much. Yeah, if you enjoyed our show, you can go on YouTube and catch up on all of our previous episodes. We start recaps at episode 15, I believe, which is quick little like 10 to 15 minute like recaps of previous episodes. So you can catch up rather quickly if you'd like. But yeah, thank you so much for that. Let's see
We
what
also
other
have an
comments
after
we have.
show if you want to see how we react to this
Yeah, we have an
craziness
after
that just
show.
happened.
What an episode.
Yeah.
What an episode.
I hope you guys were able to hear us this evening. I hope the music wasn't too loud. But yes, thank you all so much for joining us. Daniel is going to find us someone to raid. If you enjoyed our show this evening, of course, Mondays, Fate's End, every Monday at 7:30 p.m. Central Standard Time. On Wednesdays, for the scenes. Okay, good. I was like, oh, good. Okay. Wednesday, we have our Wild Beyond the Witchlight camp. Oh wait, no, we're not having our Wild Beyond. Bleh.
Yeah, not this Wednesday. We're back on the 19th.
Next week.
Yes, so only today's stream this week, but next week, of course, we'll have more Fate's End, and then we'll have more Wild Beyond the Witchlight on Wednesday. But no Wild Beyond the Witchlight this Wednesday. But it will be next Wednesday. I hope you all had a wonderful time. Thank you all for joining us for this just awesome, amazing session that we just had. Just a roller coaster. If you didn't see the whole thing, you definitely need to go back and watch it. But other than that, we are going to do some raiding. We are going to raid, it looks like the Vacataire. Saying that right? So stick with us. Thank you all, and we will see you all next time. Bye, guys.
Text your mamas.
Text your mamas.
Text your mama.